What's up, guys? I'm Hustle.
And I'm Mo, and welcome to the Mo Hustle Show.
What up, y'all? We so glad that y'all stopped by to kick it with us.
We talking about everything from politics to pool pits to stripper poles. So sit back, relax, and let's get into it.
Period.
What's good, everybody, and welcome back.
How's it going?
Good, man.
How's everybody out there doing today? Hope everybody's doing well.
Right.
We appreciate you guys tuning in. So,
before we get started, we do want to take some time to say rest in peace to one of our dear classmates who passed away, Ann Raymond. Right. Some of you that are from where we from, y'all know her.
Right.
Just a great heart, man.
Right. Gastonia, North Carolina, Hunter Huss.
Yeah.
She was one of our classmates. We played ball together. And I mean, when Christian says this girl has heart, I mean, one of the best post players,
that we ever seen.
Right.
I'm talking about hustle,
So just rest in peace to Ann, man. Just a great person.
Yeah.
And y'all definitely dearly missed.
Keep her family in prayer, because we sure will. So.
Right. And we didn't do this. So I'm Mo.
And I'm Hustle.
And welcome to the Mo Hustle Show.
Yeah, we kind of
we skipped
just jumped into it this morning.
I know, we're too excited to get started.
Yeah, it's been a minute too. We had a little time off, So yeah, but we back at it. What we talking about, man?
So there's a trending topic, and we told you we was gonna keep it real, relevant, thought provoking, from the pool pits to the stripper poles. So today we talking about snitching, and we talking about Alpo.
Yes.
If you guys have been keeping up, you know Alpo was recently gunned down in his old stomping grounds in Harlem. And just real quick, for the people who don't know who Alpo is, Alpo was a legend in the streets of Harlem back in the early 70s on into the late 80s. I think he got locked up in 91?
Yeah.
All right, so, and like I say, for y'all who don't know who Alpo is, I'm going to give you just a quick background on him. All right, so a lot of people feel that Alpo, well, first, let me just say this. A lot of people feel that Alpo may have been killed because he snitched on a lot of people back in the day. Some people think he might have been killed from new dealings. And some people think that he really really wasn't murdered. They say he was gunned down, but some people think that it's just a ploy to get him back in the witness protection program. Because he was getting a little bit out of hand, being seen in public and in places that he had no business being. So there's a lot of facts that kind of support that he may not even really be dead. And like I said, if you guys don't know who he is, I'm just going to tell you real quick. So like I say, he was a kingpin from New York. He started hustling at the age of 13.
Early.
And, when I tell you this guy, and I'm not glorifying, first of all, I'm not glorifying drug dealing or the dealing on narcotics and things like that, but this guy did some pretty amazing things for somebody to come from nothing, basically.
This guy was a boss at 15.
Yeah, at 15 years old, he had older men running for him.
That's crazy.
He's 15 years old telling a grown-ass man to go get him something
to
eat.
Go get me a sandwich.
Yeah. I'm talking about making boss moves at the early age of 15 years old. This man wanted it so bad. He was trying to get on with some of the older hustlers in the neighborhood. He sat on a motorcycle. I don't know if you heard this story. He sat on a motorcycle all night waiting on them to come out. He stayed there so long he fell asleep on the motorcycle. And they saw him out there asleep. They was like, we gotta go ahead and get this young cat something. And then after that, it just took off.
And look, regardless as to how people feel about drug dealing or whatever, you have to give him his credit.
Right.
He was hungry, and that's what it takes.
Right.
He was hungry, and he wasn't willing to take no for an answer. So
he wanted it. He wanted that life. He glorified that life, and he
got
was the
it.
epitome. Yeah, he was the epitome of that life. So this man was providing cocaine to, at one point, the whole east side of Harlem. He was everybody's plug. Then eventually he had a lot of Harlem on lock. He ended up having portions of DC on lock as well later on, and we'll get into that in just a minute.
One thing that was kind of, it wasn't weird, but one thing that was interesting is that everybody thought that he was black.
Right.
Everybody thought he was black, but he was actually Hispanic. And I had some friends that I was in the military with that were Hispanic. They was of Spanish origin, but their skin tone was so dark they looked black. But they said this man speak fluent Spanish.
And he didn't let everybody know.
Yeah,
so,
yeah.
You know, he could infiltrate certain organizations and find out where their dope was. He'd be listening to him speaking Spanish, and they thinking you know what I'm saying, don't understand what he's saying. And they go back and rob places. They were doing all types of things. But he started out working with AZ and Rich Porter. And for people who are familiar with the lifestyle, everybody knows who AZ and Rich Porter are. Excuse me for a second. Go ahead. I got to.
Yeah, so if you guys, like she said, if you've been watching the lifestyle, y'all know who AZ and Rich Porter are. Those were his two right-hand men at the time. So AZ ended up getting shot, and some of his family members were killed during a robbery and extortion.
Right.
And so after that, Alpo and Rich Porter took over. This was about, 1987?
Yeah,
and they took the game totally to another level.
Right. These guys, 16, 17 years old, out here driving brand new foreign cars. Like when the BMWs became popular. Brand new BMWs, Mercedes, Porsches, just whatever.
Coming through the hood with drop tops.
Yeah, 16, 17 years old. Just living a lifestyle that, you know what I'm saying, a 16, 17-year-old kid from the hood comes from nothing.
Right.
Then you got $1 million?
Yeah. So as you can imagine, you had a lot of people looking up to him, whether they were young or old. There were a lot of people that looked up to him, and they wanted that lifestyle as well. So.
He did some amazing things. There was one situation, it was a Halloween, and he went to this Italian store that was selling fireworks.
He'd say, I want to get some fireworks for the kids for 105th, and he would go to the Italians on Pleasant Avenue, and the Italians were really shady about him, like, you know, who is this guy? So they were like, what do you need? We'll bring it out to you. And he's like, really, I want to see what you got. And he's like, well, how much money do you want to spend? Actually, I want to see what you got.
The Italians come fuck with him. How the Italians be doing all that fireworks and shit, they come fuck with him.
We spent about $20,000, a van full of fireworks.
He said, I want it all. I'm taking the whole room. How much? And they added it all up, and I think it came to maybe 15, 20,000. He's like, okay, here. And give him the 20,000. And they would just look because they were like trying to be mafioso, and fucking this Black John Gotti just came in and just bought the whole fucking place from him. And
then he takes it back to takes it to the hood, to I think it was Rucker Park. Was it Rucker Park? Yep. And set it all out for the hood. You know what I'm saying? For the kids. And a lot of them there, a lot of people that were there that talk about it, they said that it was amazing.
Right.
Like they never seen anything like it. And that's what this man was doing.
Yeah. He had all those fireworks set up, and then he kind of disappeared in the night. Because anytime you that caliber of drug dealing, you got that type of money, you know, quite naturally people are going to ask you for money all the time. So he just, you know, didn't want to be on everybody's scene and be seen all the time.
Right.
But at one point, him and his crew was making up to $200,000 a day.
$200K a day?
Yeah. Yep.
That's crazy, y'all.
All right.
So, and you know, when crack hit the scene, the game started to change a little bit. It got a little bit more grimier. So at that point, I think he took his talents to D.C., you know what I'm saying, and started doing some business out there where he eventually took over that shit too.
Yeah.
You know?
Everybody who knows Rich Porter, I'm quite sure everybody's heard of Rich Porter. Him and Alpo were actually best friends at one time. They hustled together. And as you know, Alpo ended up later on admitting to killing Rich. And, you know, he said it wasn't personal. He said it was business.
Business, yeah.
He said Rich did some grimy shit that basically made him feel like, you know, if you're going to lie to me about this little bit of money, there's no telling what you're going to do.
Yeah.
So at that point, he felt like he had to make a business decision. And a lot of people gave him a lot of slack about it. But, you know, if you're in the game, I mean, it's not like roses and
no,
like, you know what I'm saying, it's some crazy things happen.
It's gonna be some trying times.
Yep.
A little bit after that though, somebody actually tried to kill him.
Yeah.
And that's when things started to go south.
Yeah.
So because in 1991 he was arrested, and then he admitted to doing 14 murders during his arrest. So
started singing
like a canary.
Right. So a lot of people know Alpo as a snitch, and that's why we kind of wanted to make this show about snitching and Alpo. We felt it was the perfect time just because of what's going on with him. Like I say, he was recently gunned down. But after he snitched on everybody, he became a government witness. Obviously went into witness protection. And from there...
Yeah, from there, let's see, he got released from prison. First of all, let's say he became a witness to avoid a life sentence.
Right.
You know what I'm saying? Which we're going to get into that too, because, you know, he did do that, and I'm sure it's a lot of people that would probably do the same thing.
Right. They might say they wouldn't.
They'll say they wouldn't, yeah, but yeah, so he was released from prison in 2015, and he was recently gunned down October 31st in Harlem.
Right. In his old stomping grounds.
Yeah.
Where he made a lot of his money. He was gunned down in the same place. I don't know why he would have been hanging out there.
There's no way I would have went back.
No. Maybe he had a death wish, or maybe he felt invincible. Had to be one of the two.
That's what I'm thinking. Maybe he felt like, you know, this my hood. Ain't nothing gonna happen to me. But after you do all of that, you know what I'm saying? You can't. He was just complacent at this point. So.
He was supposed to be living in Maine. He was tucked away, fine. Like nobody, his neighbors didn't even know who he was until after he got gunned down and everything started to come out.
Ain't that interesting? Like, he lived there in that neighborhood, and it was so tight.
Right.
Everything was so tight and in place. And if he would have just stayed where he was and not came back to the hood,
he would still be here.
He might still be alive, yeah.
So now we about to jump into
Let's get into it.
Like I said, this show is going to be about snitching. So this is the first question that I have, and I'm going to remain objective about this because I'm not immersed in that world or that lifestyle to know how deep it is.
Right.
To understand the meaning behind when you hear most guys say, I'm a stand-up dude and I'm not going to snitch. And you know what I'm saying? That's just not happening.
Yeah.
So this is the question that I have. Do you want to be a true man to the game or a man to your children and your family? Please comment below. People who may be in this lifestyle or experience this lifestyle.
Yeah, that's heavy. That's loaded because there's so many levels when you start talking about snitching, period.
Right.
You know what I'm saying? So I think it'll be interesting to see what people say about that.
Right.
Because some people are diehard, I'm not snitching, I'm not telling them, which is nothing wrong with that. But how far are you willing to go for that?
Right.
You know what I'm saying? If you have to leave your kids behind, leave your family behind, say you got a newborn, you know what I'm saying? And you find yourself in a situation where you have to choose, look, either I'm going to get this little bit of time and, you know, be able to go back and see my kids grow up, or I'm just gone.
Right.
What you doing? You know what I'm saying?
That's a tough question. And, you know, a lot of times people are put in situations and the public may think, hey, this person is a snitch. But you have no idea. A lot of times what the feds and the authorities will do is they'll leverage your family members. Sometimes the family members don't even have anything to do with what these guys are doing. But you know what I'm saying? If somebody's telling you, I'm sending your mama to prison for what you're doing. If you don't tell us what we need to know, like, what are you going to do?
Or we're going to pick your son up. Say you got a 17, 18-year-old son.
Right.
Which,
because he picked up the phone one time.
Yeah.
You know?
Because he spent got a little bit of money in his hand from you, which he didn't have anything to do with what you did to get the money, but he's in it.
Right.
So.
And there's a lot of guys out here serving lengthy sentences because they didn't tell. And the game has changed a lot, you know what I'm saying? Where you used to have lots of money. Like, drug dealers just used to have millions and millions of dollars, and they had the money and the means to take care of these people's families when they didn't snitch. Right,
because it was some gangsters back in the day. They was real gangsters. Like, if you was a part of their organization and you had to go away, they were going to take care of your family. They're going to take care of your family. And that's the difference between then and today.
Right.
Like, that ain't happening no
Right.
more.
So the younger generation, like, if you in jail right now, just say, for instance, you might be 20, 30, 40. Is somebody taking care of your family? Is somebody paying your family?
Right.
There was a scene on the BMF docuseries or documentary. And one of the guys didn't snitch on Terry and Meech, but they put his wife on payroll. She was getting $6,000 a month cash free through the duration of his sentence. Now, when you talk about stuff like that, that would make somebody, you know, be a little bit more apt to not tell.
Right. And,
But now,
yeah. And let me say this, man. This is my take on the snitching thing, because like I said, I think it's levels to it, and I feel like this. Say I'll use myself. Say I'm on my second strike. Okay.
Right.
You know what you're doing when you get in the game. You know the consequences. I'm on my second strike. I'm riding around with one of my homeboys or whatever, homegirls, a family member, whatever have you, and we get pulled.
right.
It's mine. I know it's mine. So I don't think I would. I know I wouldn't ask anybody. I wouldn't expect for anybody to take anything that's gonna alter their life because of my decision.
Right.
You know what I'm saying?
Right.
That's how I look at it. For me, like I wouldn't expect that. I wouldn't ask nobody to do that.
Right.
You know. But there are situations where there are certain people that I know I would consider doing it for.
Right. Absolutely.
You know what I'm saying?
Yeah. There's a few people that I absolutely probably would do it for, but there's just not enough.
Listen.
Outside of my circle, there's not enough people that I feel like I owe that allegiance to.
No. And when I say
And
do
for
it,
what?
it also depends on what the hell you got. You know what I'm saying?
Do you have a couple of grams or you got some kilos in the trunk? You know what I mean?
You know, do you have a blunt or do you have
a pound?
Exactly. It's so many levels to it. But I do know this, like if I was to get jammed up and I know that this is what can happen because of my decision making, I'm not bringing nobody else into it. If you get me, you got me. Nobody else's name is gonna come out my mouth to try to get myself out of the situation because I put myself in it. So that's just kind of.
Y'all, I'm sorry.
That's kind of how I
get
look.
over cold. I'm
Oh,
so
you
sorry.
good, homie? You good? It's
This weather's
flu
changing.
season.
I'm sick, y'all. So forgive me.
Yeah.
But yeah, like I was saying, like, what is the value in snitching these days? You know, what happens when you actually get incarcerated because you didn't tell?
Right.
What are you getting out of it? And like I said, I'm quite sure there are still people out there who are taking care of people's families and stuff for not snitching. But some of these drug dealers, they don't even have money for a lawyer, so
How the hell they gonna help your family?
Right.
You know what I'm saying?
Exactly.
I think sometimes what it boils down to, man, is we all have decisions that we make, and once you make your decision, you just gotta kind of live with what you get. You know what I'm saying? You can't. There ain't nobody else's burden. You know what I'm saying? So.
Right. I got another question.
What's up?
For those of you who were able to remain silent and didn't snitch, was it worth you missing your children being born? Was it worth you missing them take their first steps? Was it worth you not being there when they got into trouble? Was it worth it? Just not being there because you made a decision to be that stand-up guy or girl? Drop the comments below, because we want to know.
Yeah,
we want to know what y'all think.
And I also think that people sometimes don't snitch because there is a street code. We already know, but I think they don't because they don't want to let the street down.
Right.
But they don't really think about who gonna be let down
at home.
Exactly, and those are the people that really matter. Right. Them the people that really matter. I'm sorry, like.
So it's a big thing. Times are changing. Like I said, I just feel like the value's not there in not snitching. Right. And I could be wrong because, like I said, I don't know a whole lot about it. You know, I read a lot and keep up with this stuff, but I don't see the value in it. And I'm not saying I would snitch on someone. Hopefully I would never be in a situation to where
you had.
I would put myself, in those circumstances, but. I don't know. You gonna take care of my family? You gonna be sending my mama a check? You know what I'm saying? I don't have any kids, but what you gonna do for me?
Exactly, because it's just not like it was back in the day.
Right.
You know, they're not gangsters like it was back in the day, and it's different, man. It's changed.
Yeah.
So what y'all think? Like, are you snitching? Are you snitching to get back to your family, or are you gonna take that long ride? What you gonna do?
And miss out on,
Yeah.
kids, if you got a wife, mother, father, family. Miss out on your family.
Yeah, we already know what we already know what people gonna say.
Right.
You know, a lot of people are gonna say, no, I ain't
Yeah.
no snitch. I'm a real.
I was watching a video on YouTube yesterday. Somebody was talking about all this stuff with Alpo. And he said, everybody's a snitch. He said everybody's a snitch. And one thing Alpo did say was he ended up snitching on people who would have snitched on him later on if he didn't snitch on them.
I'm gonna get you before you get me.
Right. So is it
That's
fair
how
game?
he saw it.
Is it fair game or you just a rat?
Yeah, that's crazy. But that's interesting. And he said everybody's a snitch because I believe that. I think at some point, depending on what is placed before you, everybody could become one.
Right.
You know what I'm saying?
Yeah, because the feds, they got some tricks.
They do, and a lot. Oh, I know what I was gonna say earlier. A lot of times, as well as leveraging like your family and shit like that, there's also a little deception in there. Like they may
right.
tell you, hey, well, this dude, he ain't here telling us everything you did, so you telling us you gonna protect him, he ain't protecting you. So
Right.
that's
Play the game.
yeah, that's done too to get people to tell. And you know, we just at the end of the day, what you doing?
Right. Like I say, it's something to think about. A lot of people probably would never even have to think about whether you would snitch or not just because they don't live a certain lifestyle. Mm-hmm. But if you were put in that situation and you were doing some stuff you didn't have no business doing, what are you gonna do?
Yeah.
Who are you gonna do it for? Who would you snitch for? Some people might be worth it, but like I say, you just don't know.
Yeah. And you know, I say this really loosely with the whole taking a charge, whatever, really loosely, because there is literally, it don't leave one hand. It probably don't leave 2 fingers of the people that I might consider, taking something for. Because some
Right.
people you just don't want to see sit in jail.
Right.
You know what I'm saying? And I'm sure you feel the same way. Like, there's
Yeah.
people in your life that you like, damn, I would rather me do that than you.
Right.
So,
Or it could be a situation where you're with somebody who, you know what I'm saying, you tight with, and say for instance they got a record and you don't, and they get in trouble, and excuse me y'all, I'm so sorry, I'm trying to get over this cold, but say for instance you got a clean record and they don't, and if they go, they're gonna be gone for a while. If you take the charges, you might not even do any time. You know what I'm saying? The situations like that to just make you think.
yeah. And that, again, that's a good example, but it's also loaded because it's a
Yeah.
whole lot of like, what are we talking about? What's on the plate? What are we dealing
Right.
with? You know what I'm saying?
Yeah.
Because some things can alter your life tremendously. I mean, yeah.
Taking a charge.
Yeah, so and depending on what the charge is, it really can change your life. It can change your quality of life.
Yeah.
You know what I'm saying? So it's just like a whole bunch of,
Yeah.
yeah. But that's definitely, only maybe 2-3 people in my life that let you know.
Right.
Yeah.
So, well, I guess we're going to go ahead and wrap it up.
Yeah, let's wrap it up.
You want to give them some shoe cam today?
Let's do it.
I think they already seen these shoes, but I
don't think so, man, because I don't ever remember seeing you flash those.
Cause I got these from Cool Kicks in LA.
Little shattered backboard action.
I don't even know what these are called. It just says SBY. What do you think that means? I don't know, but that's
have no
what
idea,
that's
but
what
I
I'm
like
rocking
those.
today. I appreciate it. I like those.
Let me see that.
Those are those shoes you was at my house dancing in.
Yeah, we got a video, y'all. We got a video that we probably gonna be posting at some point. But
Yeah, we definitely gonna have to post her dancing. She was. We gonna show y'all the video, and she ended up busting her ass on my kitchen floor. It was loud too. But anyway, again, rest in peace to Ann Raymond.
Yes.
I'm kind of speechless. I don't even know what to say. Like so many of our classmates are falling off. I just had Joy text me.
Yeah.
She was like, I love y'all. She was like, you and Christian, y'all take care of yourself because I don't want to, you know what I'm saying? Baby, we tired all our classmates.
Yeah, man. We love you too, Joy.
Yeah.
Listen, man, it is so important. Like the things that we talk about, we don't just talk about them because we do it. We want everybody to be able to take something away from it, especially that self-care and that self-love, because people are leaving here like we haven't even hit 40 yet.
Right.
And we got a lot of our classmates that are leaving, man.
We've
And
had four this year so far.
4 this year, yeah. So definitely, and a lot of people think it's not always a physical thing that takes people out. You know what I'm
Right.
saying? That mind, that, you know, the anxieties, all of that, a lot of that shit can lead to heart attacks and different things.
Right.
And you just gotta, man, so many ways that you can,
so like you said, that self-care and that self-love, and not to get off subject, but you know what I'm saying, like, we got people leaving here left and right, and you just never know if they had taken a step back and, you know, giving themselves a little bit more.
Yeah. Yep. So yeah, man, we appreciate y'all coming through here and kicking it with us. Y'all gotta jump in them comments and let us know. Are you snitching? What you doing?
Right.
You know what I'm saying? Are you gonna do it for the streets or you gonna do it for your family?
Yeah, and what y'all think about Alpo? Do y'all think that somebody killed him because of some snitching he did back in the day? Y'all think it was new dealings? Or do you think he's not dead at all? Parts of me feel like he's not dead. Because I don't know if you guys seen the footage of the accident. They said it was a drive-by, but the shots were close range. Like somebody walked up on him and just, you know what I'm saying? He was sitting up in his truck and it was high.
Yeah.
They're saying it's a drive-by, but he got 4 bullets, you know, all in the same, what do they call it, cluster?
Clusters, yeah. And there's no way that's a drive-by and it's giving the effects of close range.
Right.
Now.
Then they told his family they had 30 minutes to come view his body, and then they were going to cremate it. Like,
it's like, I never heard of that.
I've never heard of that.
Is it because he technically belongs to the state? You know what I'm saying?
Yeah.
When you in the witness protection program, like they kind of look at you as state property.
You are.
Yeah, you pretty much state property.
Yeah.
The hell. So, I mean, yeah.
What do y'all think? So we just gonna leave it right there. But yeah, make sure y'all jump in the comments and we want some feedback on this one. This is a good one because I mean it's trending right now, and you know snitching is always
it's always a heavy topic.
Yeah,
it's always loaded, man.
It is because like I say, the game is changing.
Yeah.
It's not same. The value is just not there anymore. So.
Yeah. Let us know what y'all think, man. Conversation rules the nation as always. So jump in them comments and we're gonna catch y'all next time.